guys, my name is Blackiebee and welcome back to my channel. Let's get my model glammed up together today. So I'm just going to clean our face first, clean our face like properly. Then after thoroughly cleansing the face, I'm going to use this what's it called, rose water, and it has hyaluronic acid in it. So it will just like prepare our skin for whatever it is that is coming. And then this is the snail essence. I like this a lot. It's also very hydrating. So I like it a lot to like properly hydrate our skin. So after this, I'm going to use my moisturizer. I'm using the Emberlis moisturizer, and I will make sure that the moisturizer gets under our eye like properly, just like properly hydrate the under the eye and every other place as well, which hydrates our skin properly. Then after that, I think I just went into foundation, or did I use a primer? I can't really remember. So I'm just trying to like blend the moisturizer properly to every part of our skin, including our neck. Like I take it everywhere and make sure that also dries down into our skin. And then I'm using this foundation, the Dior foundation and the L'Oreal True Match foundation, using the lighter shades at the T zones and then the darker shade at the rest. I actually mix the two for the rest, just the lighter shade at the T zone, like under her eye and her chin. So I'm going to spray to make the foundation well blendable and also blend right into our skin properly. And I'm blending it into our skin, and like I'm blending properly. And after blending out the foundation, I'm going to do my cream contour. And I'm using the foundation, just the darker L'Oreal foundation for this cream contour. I'm not going for like a really deep contour, just that same foundation without mixing it. So it's just like a shade lighter than a shade darker, rather a shade darker than a skin tone. So I just use that to contour her face, her chin, upward, and her forehead. You guys know I will contour at this point. Her chin, her forehead. But if you want like a detailed highlight and contour, then just let me know. Let me know. That's why I'm here. Going to film that for you. So I'm using my TM Essential. No, sorry, that's not TM. That's the Ila, my Teila palette. Using my Teila palette for the blush, and that blush is so pigmented. I also like to put a little bit on the nose. So that's what I just did. And then I'm going to go into concealing. I'm using two concealer. I'm using the Beauty by Heidi first. Has the Beauty by Heidi concealer, and then the second one is the Zickel concealer. I really do like this Beauty by Heidi. It's so creamy. And then the Zik Health is creamy, but it dries down a lot faster. So I just like to like use both together to just get like a perfect consistency and a perfect coverage. Because the Zik is full coverage, and the Beauty by AD is like a breathable coverage, like a medium coverage. So I just like to like use both together to just get like a really good, like a smooth blending, because the Beauty by AD is not too thick, it's really creamy, so it blends right well with the Zickel concealer. So I'm just going to blend everything. And then guys, I do like two highlighting, but before then I'm going to do my nose contour first. So I'm just blending, and then I'm taking it up a little bit to like give our face like a lift. Then this is like the nose contour. I'm bringing the contour from the front of our brows down to the bridge of our nose. Just like form a little V shape, at that place and then bring it down. You can see like from the front of her brows to form like a mini V shape, and then you bring it down. And then this is a second concealer, like a lighter one, to just properly brighten her eye. The first concealer was like just cover like a darker, like any dark spot or eye bags or whatever she may have on her under her eye. Just using that one to conceal it first, and then this to brighten. Not too light, not too crazy, just enough to like brighten it and not just too much. I like moderation. Yes, I'm just going to blend that properly in, and then I'm going to use a little bit of the brightening too on the forehead and chin. Then I'll blend that in as well. Then I'm setting all the highlighted area with my Mirac Cosmetics setting powder, and I'm mixing two setting powder actually. I mixed the curry and cinnamon. Yeah, I think that's the shade. Curry and cinnamon. And I mix both together. Guys, make sure to set your under eye properly. Like I go in and can you see like I'm still going with another powder, another powder. I do that like two, like three, four times, depending on how I'm going. I'm just going like little per time, just a little per time, little per time, and I'll just make sure to like blend it properly in so that it doesn't look like oh there's a lot of powder here. Then I'll just use my powder palette for the rest of our face, everywhere else except those places that we highlighted. I'm going to put a pressed powder on everywhere just to set the remaining face, like the foundation part, the contour, the blush. We're going to powder everything down. We're still going to use a powder, contour, and blush, but for now, just use powder to powder everything down. So it's not like sticky, it's not moving or whatever. Then after that, I believe I just going to contouring. Yes. So I just use that brush to like contour her face, her forehead, just where we put the cream contour. That's where we're going to do the powder contour as well. That's why you have to do your cream contour before you do your powder contour. It's just basically like following what you did when you do your cream contour. And then for blush, I'm using like that burnt orange blush, just a little bit of blush because that palette I used earlier was really pigmented. So I'm just going to use like a little bit more. Yes, I'm using my powder as well to do the nose contour. I already did cream contour on the nose, so I'm just following what I did on the nose with a powder. I use like a dark powder at the top and then a lighter powder coming down the bridge of the nose. Yeah, sorry. So after that, I'm just going to spray. Can you see? Just spray so that all those powdery look will just go away and it just all melt into the skin. As the two powders that I use, and I'm going to use a light one that's ginger to bake a face. Just a little powder on the under her eye for baking. I don't use a lot. What I do is just to like carve out and nose a little bit with the powder so it just look snatched, and then bring it up again to give her face like a lift, her forehead little bit, you barely see her, and then her chin too. Then we move into eyeshadow. After using eyeshadow primer, I'm going to use the same powder I used for the contour. Use that to do a crease color. So I'm just bringing it from that like that nose contour to the crease and then to the outer part, blending it upward, just following like the shape I already did on under the eye, like bringing it to like lifting it just following that shape. So I have that shape throughout. That's the shape I want because I want it to be clean and lifted, and I don't want to use like a concealer and I start cleaning it after. So I'm just careful at doing my eyeshadow, if that makes sense. Yes, that's just what I'm doing. And with eyeshadow primer, this type of eyeshadow primer, you have to like pat down the product you want to use first and then you blend it. You can't just say you want to blend, you're going to move the eyeshadow base and it's not just going to look okay. So you have to like pat down. So I'm taking the powder, putting it there first and then carefully blend it. Then I'm using a darker shade of eyeshadow now for the outer corner with a small detailed brush. So it's like I'm not losing control. Then when I feel like I need to like blend it out, I'm going to use a bigger brush to blend out. Can you see how that is going? Can you see that I'm not like passing that line that is sort of like put there? I'm not passing it. That's like a guide for the eyeshadow, like where it will stop. So I continue to have that kind of lift. And after that, I'm going with to the lid shade, like a nude shade for the lid. That's a little bit pink, yeah, like a nude pinky shade. Then I'm going to use another shade as a bit nude. Yeah, that second shade for the inner corner and then blend it together. Because I don't want it to be too pink. I want it to be nude, but then not no, just have a little bit of color. Not too boring, but then I don't want the color to be too much as well. So I'm just going to blend those two colors together to get like the perfect blended shade. Then after that, I'm using this my gel liner. That's the Zaron gel liner to line under her eye, and then bringing it to the outer corner of the eye, and then bringing it out. Can you guys understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Then I used my hand to like drag the tail up just a little bit. Then I'm using like a black, even dark, black eyeshadow at this point with that small blending brush to blend it out, to blend to blend the gel liner out, and then I'll apply just a little bit of black eyeshadow to the outer corner, and then blend it out properly with a big fluffy brush. Can you see that? That big brush I used to apply the crease color. Yes, so that's it for the eyeshadow, and then we'll move to the brows. For my brows, I start from like the tail, like from the hack of the tail, from the arc to the tail. Yes, from the hack to the tail. That's how I started. Started from the bottom and then I did the top as well. I just like to like define the tail first, then I move to the front. I'm using my Egg and Esther brow gel to do this, and I'm going to just try to like blend that in front of that jaw. Yeah, I'm going to like blend it and put air strokes into the hair, into the brows, so it just looks like, yes, that's our brows. I'm going to do the same thing with a darker pomade. That's like my black gel. Just going to use it to outline what I did with the brown H&E gel and put a little bit of strokes just for you to have like a definition, or I want it to be pop because she's dark skinned with just that brown gel or brown pomade, whatever it is you want to call it. I just feel like it won't really pop, but that black doesn't have to be a lot. I promise you guys, it is just the tiniest bit. Like just put a little bit on the brush. a little bit on the brush. You can even mix it with that brow if you know that you'll mess up. Just a little bit, and then now I'm going to in with my pencil to make hair like strokes, guys. Hair like strokes. Very, very careful, light handed. And then I'm using that pencil to blend the tail. So it's not looking like really, really dark. The next thing is to clean up the bottom of my brows. I only clean up the bottom of the brows, guys. Then I'm going to start where I started the brows. From that arc to the tail. Then I'll now move back to the front. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. So, yes, then just trying to like use the brush, like blend those concealers out a little bit. Then I'm going to the front now. Just a little bit of concealer. That's what you need for this. And I feel like doing brows after eyeshadow just makes your work a bit faster. Yes, that's it. It will make your life easier and better. Now I'm using highlighter on her nose. I did not put on her forehead because I don't want that. I don't want that look. Then just above the blush. So the sequence is contour, blush, and then highlighter. I'm doing the same thing on the second. Guys, if there is anything you want to like learn, anything you want me to be detailed about, just tell me and I'll make a video about that as well. And now I'm going into our lips. I use this same brow gel I use on our brows, that Ega Nesta brown gel. That's the same thing I use to line our lips. I just like that color. That color is so nice, so pretty. I'm going to use that to line our lips properly. And I did a little bit of overlining just at the top. And then I just followed a normal lip line for the rest of the lip. And our lips just came out so beautifully. So beautifully. I like him. This lining took me a bit of time. I can tell you that for free because the gel liner is a bit thick. It's not like the lipsticks that is easier to use. Then I use pink shade at the middle of her lip. Then after I'm going to use like a nude shape. I said nude shape. Nude shade. Why can't I talk? Nude shade for the rest. This shade for the rest. And then I had just a clear gloss on it. And can you see how gorgeous she looks? Nice. Then I thought change it to like a red lip. I love this. Bye guys. See you later. Love you. Bye.